think we've proven that he could not have heard the kid scream, "I'll kill you."
Well, I disagree.
Well, let's just hear her through.
But what if he did hear the kid scream, "I'll kill you"? That phrase, how many times have each of us used it? Probably hundreds. If you do that again, Junior, I'm going to kill you. Come on, Rocky, kill him. We say it all the time. That doesn't mean we're really going to kill someone.
Yeah, but don't the circumstances here kind of alter that somewhat?
Yeah, I mean, come on. A man was murdered.
And one more thing. The phrase was, "I'm going to kill you," and the kid screamed it out at the top of his lungs.
That's the way I understand it.
Now, don't try to tell me he didn't mean it. Anybody says a thing like that, the way he said it, they mean it.
And how they mean it.
Well, let me ask you, do you really think the kid would have screamed it out so loud that the whole neighborhood would hear him? I don't. I think he's much too bright for that.
Bright? Bright? He's a common ignorant slob. He don't even speak good English.
He doesn't even speak good English.
All right, the boy is clever enough.
I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. It appears that the vote is now 9-3. 9-3 in favor of guilty.
I'd like to know why you changed your vote.
I think there's a doubt.
Where? What's the doubt?
Well, there's the knife. Oh, fine.
Oh, you know what? She's having you believe in fairy tales.
Go on, just give us the reasons.
Well, and there's the old man, too. Well, maybe he didn't lie. Well, maybe he did. But maybe the old man just doesn't like the kid.
Oh, if this isn't the end.
Well, I believe there's a reasonable doubt.
What? What are you basing this on? Stories that this one has made up? Oh, she should write for the Amazing Detective Monthly. She'd make a fortune. Listen, the kid had a lawyer, didn't he? Why didn't the lawyer bring up all these points?
Well, lawyers can't think of everything.
Oh, good grief. You sit here and you pull these stories out of thin air. Now you want us to believe that the old man didn't get up out of bed, run to the window, and see the kid beat it down the stairs 15 seconds after the killing.
That's the testimony, I believe.
Exactly. And he swore to this under oath. Oh, right. He swore to this just to be important.
Did you say that the old man ran to the door?
Oh, good grief. Ran, walked. What's the difference? He got there.
Well, I don't remember what he said, but I just don't see how he could run.
He said went. I remember it now. He went from his bedroom to the front door. That's enough, isn't it?
Where was his bedroom again?
Down the hall somewhere.
Down the hall? We're going to send a kid off to die because it's down the hall?
Hey, I thought you remembered everything. Don't you remember that?
No, I don't.
I don't remember either.
Mr. Foreman, I'd like to see a diagram of the apartment, please.
Seriously? Seriously? Why don't we just have them rerun the entire 6-day trial all over again so that you can get every little itty-bitty detail straight?
Do you know exactly where that bedroom is? There's a life at stake here. Do you know?
No.
Mr. Foreman?
I heard you.
All right, what's this one for? How come you're the only woman in the room that's got to be looking at exhibits all the time?
I want to see this one, too. So do I.
And I want to stop wasting time.
Are we going to start wading through all that nonsense about where the body was found?
No. We're going to try to figure out how an old man who's had 2 strokes in 3 years and walks with a pair of canes could get to his front door in 15 seconds.
He said 20 seconds.
He said 15.
How can he judge 15 seconds? He can't judge a thing like that.
He said 15. He was very positive about
He's an old man. You saw that. Half the time he was confused. How can he be positive about anything? You know what I mean.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe you know.
Is this what you were looking for?
Yes,
There
thank
we
you.
go.
There's the chart.
Sure, that's my job.
Is this what you wanted?
Yes, please.
Oh, somebody do me a favor and wake me when this is
Would you
over.
hold it up for
Listen,
me?
I've looked at that chart for over 2 hours. Enough is enough, huh?
Some of us are interested. Come on, go ahead.
This is a diagram of the apartment in which the killing took place. The old man's apartment is directly beneath it and exactly the same. Now here are the L tracks, a bedroom, another bedroom, living room, bathroom, kitchen, hallway, and front stairs. Now the old man testified he was in bed. He got up, walked out in the hall, opened the front door just in time to see the kid run down the stairs. Is that right?
Right.
That's what happened.
15 seconds after the body fell, right?
Correct.
All right, could you hold this for me down here, please? Sure. Thank you. The old man was in bed in this bedroom. From his bed to the bedroom door is 12 feet. The length of the hallway is 43 feet. The old man testified he got out of bed, walked 12 feet, opened the bedroom door, walked down the hallway 43 feet, and opened the front door, all in 15 seconds. Do you think that's possible?
You know it's possible.
I don't see why not.
He would have been in a hurry. He did hear the scream.
Yeah,
Could I
but
use
he can only walk very slowly. You know, they had to help him into the witness chair.
You know, you make it seem like it's a long walk. It's not.
For a man who uses cane, old man who uses canes, it's a long walk.
What are you doing?
I want to try this out. I want to see how long it took him. I'm going to pace off 12 feet, the length of the bedroom.
You're crazy. You can't recreate a thing like that.
Perhaps if we could see it, this is an important point.
This is a ridiculous waste of time.
Let her do it.
I can't see any harm in it. It's foolish, but go ahead.
Can I use your chair, please?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Let's pretend this is the bedroom door. How far do you think it is from here to the door of this room?
I'd say about 20 feet.
Yeah, 20 feet.
All right, 20 feet. That seems reasonable. So from here to the door and back is 40 feet. That's shorter than the length of the hallway the old man had to walk down. Don't you agree?
A
Yeah.
few feet, maybe.
You know, this is absolutely insane. What makes you think you can do this?
You cannot stop her.
Do you mind if I try it out? According to you, it's only going to take me 15 seconds. We can spare that. Who's got a watch with the second hand?
Oh, I have.
All right. When you want me to start, just say go. That'll be the body falling.
I'll time you from there.
All right. I think he would keep his canes right by his bed, don't
Yeah,
you?
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm waiting for the hand to get to 60. Go.
Oh, come on, speed it up. He walked twice as fast as that.
Well, I think this is even more quickly than the old man walked in the courtroom.
No, it isn't.
If you want me to walk faster, I will.
Well, speed it up a little.
Stop.
Right.
What's the time?
Oh. 15, 20, 25, 35, 39 seconds exactly.
That can't be.
39 seconds.
Now that's interesting.
Hey, wait a minute.
What do you
know-
think of that?
39 seconds. 39.
And the old cripple swore on his oath that it was 15.
You know, he may have been a little off on the time that the old man walked at, but 24 seconds off? Well, now you know,
You know,
there's...
far be it from me to call anyone a liar, but the difference in time between what you just did and what the old man said, well, there's still quite a bit of difference.
Quite a discrepancy.
It's my guess that the old man was trying to get to the front door, heard someone running down the stairs, and assumed it was the boy.
I think that's possible.
Assume. Now, you people listen to me. I've seen all kinds of dishonesty in my day, but this little display takes the cake.
What dishonesty?
Tell him. You come in here with your heart bleeding all over the floor about slum kids and injustice, and you make up these wild stories, and you got a couple of soft-hearted old ladies here listening to you. Well, I'm not. The boy is guilty. We're letting him slip through our fingers.
Our fingers? Are you his executioner?
I'm one of them.
Perhaps you'd like to pull the switch.
For him, you bet I pulled that switch.
I feel sorry for you.
Don't start with me.
What it must feel like to want to pull the switch.
Shut up!
You're a sadist.
Shut up!
You want this kid to die because you personally want it, not because of the facts. You're an animal. You disgust me.
Shut up! Let me go. Let me go. Jeez, I'll kill her. I'll kill her.
You don't really mean you'll kill me, do you?
Intermission. 20-minute intermission.
I can't believe they're laughing.
I know. That's what I couldn't understand.
I don't remember if there was music for this or what. Yeah, there's.
Stops the music.
We get the lights out a little too soon, so let's just get in there.
All right.
You're the heart of the drama. Really great work.
What's going on in here? I heard a really loud noise. Is everything okay?
Yes, everything's okay. I believe you can take that back. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, what are you looking at?
I don't see why we have to behave like children here.
Nor do I. We have a responsibility. This is one of the remarkable things about a democracy. That we are, oh, what's the word? We are notified. Mm-hmm. We are notified to come down to this place and to decide on the guilt or innocence of a man that we have not met before. We have nothing to gain or lose by our verdict. And this is what makes us so strong. We shouldn't make it some kind of a personal thing.
Thank you very much.
Well, why do you thank me?
We forget. Good to be reminded.
Well, I'm glad we're going to be civilized about this.
Well, we're still nowhere.
No, we're somewhere, or getting there, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, who's got an idea?
Why don't we take another vote? Mr. Foreman?
All right with me? Anybody not want to do that?
Let's vote.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's call out our votes. Okay? I want to know where everybody stands.
All right. Again, anybody object to that? All right, I'll call your jury numbers right off. I will vote guilty. Number 2,
Not guilty.
3,
Guilty.
4,
Guilty.
5,
Not guilty.
6,
Not guilty.
7,
Guilty.
8,
Not guilty.
9,
Not guilty.
10,
Guilty.
11,
Not guilty.
12.
Guilty!
That's 6 to 6.
I tell you what, the crime is being committed right here in this room.
The vote is 6 to 6.
I'm ready to walk into that court and declare a hung jury. There's no point in going on like this anymore.
I'd like to know why you changed your mind. And why you changed your mind. And why you did. There's 6 of us here who are afraid we're about to turn a murderer loose in the streets. A motion won't do. Why?
It would seem that the old man did not see the boy run downstairs. And I think it's unlikely that the old man heard someone scream, "I'm going to kill you." Old men dream. And if the boy did scream he was going to kill, then we have the authority of this man to prove that it might not really mean he was going to kill.
Oh, let's just take it into the judge. Let the kid take his chances with 12 other people.
All right, it's 6 to 6. I personally don't think that we're going to agree on anything.
And it's got to be unanimous, and we're never going to convince her.
At first I was alone. Now 5 others agree. There is a doubt.
You could never convince me that there's a doubt because I know there is no doubt.
You know, maybe we're a hung jury. It happens sometimes.
We are not going to be a hung jury.
But we are right now. It's a perfect balance. Let's just take it into the judge.
If there's a reasonable doubt, I do not see it.
The doubt is there in my mind.
Maybe we should vote.
What do you mean vote?
Oh,
We
not
just
again.
Yeah, listen, I want to know, vote on what?
Are we or are we not a hung jury?
You mean if we vote yes,
Yes.
we're a hung jury. Or if we vote no, we're not a hung jury.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, you know, we can't even agree on whether that window should be open.
Or maybe the type of vote. Instead of a
Yeah.
straight count.
All right. Let's make it a majority vote.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The majority wins. Is that fair?
So if 7 or more of us vote yes, that we are a hung jury, that's it. We take it to the judge and say we're a hung jury.
Exactly. And if 7 or more vote no, that means we aren't a hung jury, and we go on discussing.
I don't know, it doesn't seem quite right to me.
It's the only solution.
I think it's the only way.
you know, anything to end this.
All right, make sure. Let's go. All our votes out.
All right.
What's your vote?
We'll start with you. 2,
No.
3,
Yes.
4,
Yes.
5,
No.
6,
No.
7,
Yes.
8,
No.
9,
No.
10,
Yes.
11,
No.
and 12.
Yes.
Oh, no.
It's 6 to 6.
We can't even get a majority to decide whether or not we're a hung jury.
You know, I went along with the majority on this, but I don't agree with that way of voting. I still don't. So I'm changing my vote. I say no, we are not a hung jury. I still think this boy is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and there's some things I want to find out from those jurors that changed their minds.
Okay, then we aren't a hung jury, so we go on.
Good. We go on.
Why did you change your mind?
Oh, well, she seems so sure, while he has made several good points. And he only gets angry and yells at everybody.
Yes, but Does the anger and the yelling change the guilt of the boy? Come on, he did do it. Are we going to turn a murderer loose because one of the jurors is angry that we're turning a murderer loose?
Well, that's true.
But there is a doubt.
I don't think so. Let's talk the issue of the train. L trains make a screeching noise when they go around a bend, but the tracks in front of the window are straight. So the train would have made a low rumbling noise. So the old man could have heard a scream, which is high-pitched, and it's in a tenement. They got paper-thin walls.
Good, good. That's it. That's it.
And what if the old man was wrong about the time it took him to get to the door, but right about whom he saw? And remember, there were no fingerprints on that knife. And this is summer, so it's not like somebody was wearing gloves.
I want you people to listen to this man. He's got the goods.
And it would have taken a few seconds to get a handkerchief out and wipe the fingerprints away.
This is a point.
Maybe we should just time this to see.
Oh, just what are we timing?
Let's be exact, please.
All right, I'm saying the old man may have been wrong on how long it took him to get to the door, but he was dead right about who he saw running down the stairs. And a killer might have taken 39 seconds to wipe the fingerprints away and get down the stairs himself to where the old man saw him. The boy is. The boy there.
This is right.
Okay, we reconstructed the old man getting out of bed and walking down the hallway. Let's reconstruct the actual crime.
As well as we can reconstruct it.
Well, I think a murderer could easily use up 30 or 40 seconds at this point.
So let's reconstruct the killing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you do the stabbing?
No. How about if I'll take care of this.
Okay, why don't you be the one that gets stabbed? You're younger than I am. And don't forget, you take 1 second to fall.
Also, the body fell onto one side. Now, you don't have to fall on the floor. Just fall on back into your chair on one side. Now, if someone hates someone enough to kill them, don't you think it's reasonable to think that the murderer would look down at the victim for a second or two?
Yeah. Divorce yourself from this particular case and just think human nature.
Well, that seems reasonable.
And another thing, he falls and ends up on his right side, the father did. But stabbing someone's not like shooting them, even if it's in the heart. The father would have worked around for a minute or so, second or so, lying there on the floor, writhing.
It's quite possible. I should think there would have been enough oxygen in his system to carry him for 2 or 3 seconds, possibly.
Yeah, but wouldn't the father have cried out?
Maybe that kid held his mouth.
That also seems possible.
And there's one other thing we should consider. Anyone that's clear-minded enough to get out a handkerchief and wipe the fingerprints off the murder weapon, well, that person is probably also clear-minded enough to look around the apartment, or in this case the room, and make sure there were no other clues in there that were going to implicate it. It would only be a second or two, but he would look around.
This gets better and better.
We're trying to make it clear. Doesn't worry about quality when murder's involved. All right, let's do it.
All right, about this on the fingerprints. The kid did wipe the fingerprints off the knife. And that takes time, right?
All right.
What about the doorknob?
Oh.
If I saw a man coming into my house, now, this is a man who hated me, and he came in the house to wipe the doorknob, I'd feel a little uncomfortable about that.
Yeah, I think I would too, yeah.
All right, so now we know it took time to wipe the knife, took time to wipe the doorknob. There's a lot of time that has taken them.
All right, you time the first one. Why don't you time this one too?
Oh, okay.
Just say go when you want me to start.
Okay. I'm waiting for the hand
Yeah, we
to
all
get
are.
to 60. Go.
I'm going to kill you. Okay. Wipe away the fingerprints. Look around. Doorknobs. And it would have been both doorknobs. Another pair of doorknobs. Stop.
Oh, 10, 15, 20, 29 and a half seconds.
And whoever did kill the father and I think it was the boy, he still had to run the length of the hall and down the stairs, one full flight of stairs.
You see? You see?
So the old man might have been wrong about how long it took him to the door, but given this, I think it's quite reasonable to assume he did see that kid run down the stairs.
Okay, so now, both time sequences check. The one you did and the one we did. What with running down the stairs and everything, it does pretty much check out on times.
Well, sure, he's an old man. Even if she's right and he wants attention, he still thinks the way we do, right? A life is at stake.
So the story of the old man may well be true.
Exactly.
Except for the fact that he swore under oath that it was only 15 seconds.
And we all seem to agree that it was at least 25 to 40 seconds later.
So now you are admitting that the old man lied in one case and told the truth in the other. I admit this tends to confirm the story of the old man. But in part, he is now a proven liar, and that's by your own admission.
Well, perhaps the old man lied in part, but I think this is going to change my vote once again. Guilty.
Okay.
Okay, what do you think now?
Not sure what I think. I want to talk some more. At first I thought guilty. Then I changed. Now I'm sort of swinging back to guilty.
What about you?
Well, now I'm in real doubt. Real doubt.
I say guilty. I was right the first time.
Now maybe we're beginning to make some sense in here.
Okay, it seems to be about 9 guilty to 3 not guilty.
I have one more question about the old man. Do any of you here live in apartment buildings?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're thinking, but I know what I'm thinking.
What's that?
Well, I don't live in a tenement, but it's very close. And there is just enough light in the hallway to see the steps. No more. The light bulbs, they are so small. Remember how we stumbled on the steps?
Remember, the police had big bulbs, and one even had a flashlight.
Yeah, I remember that.
This old man misjudged the time by 20 seconds. On this, we all agree. This old man looked down the dark hall of a tenement and recognized a running figure.
He was 100% wrong about the time. It took twice as long as he thought.
Then couldn't he be 100% wrong about who he saw?
No.
That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. You're making this up out of thin air.
You know, we are a hung jury. Let's be honest about it.
No.
You know, a little bit ago, Jim was telling me that he doesn't think you understand reasonable doubt. And, you know, I tend to agree with him.
What do you mean? I don't understand it. Who do you think you are?
Well, perhaps you just don't understand what the term means. That's all I meant.
Who does this guy think he is? You come over to the United States running for your life, and you're not even here long enough to take a deep breath, and all of a sudden you're telling us how to run the show? The arrogance!
Nobody here is asking where anybody came from,
I was born right here.
or where your father came from.
Perhaps it wouldn't hurt to take a few tips from people who come running here. Maybe they've learned something we don't know. We're not so perfect.
That's all right. I'm used to this, really, but thank you.
It's not all right.
Okay. I apologize. Is that what you wanted?
It's what I want.
All right, let's stop the arguing. Has somebody got something constructive to say?
Well, there is something that has been bothering me a little. This whole business about the stab wound and how it was made. You know, that downward stroke?
You're not going to start this. They went over and over this in court.
I know they did, but I don't go along with it. The boy was 5'8", while the father was 6'2". That's a difference of 6 inches. It's very awkward to stab down into the chest of someone who is a half a foot taller than you.
All right, you're not going to be satisfied till you see it again. I'm going to give you a demonstration. Somebody get up. Now make sure you watch this because I don't want to have to do it again. Okay. Is this 6 inches?
Now that's more than 6 inches.
Good. Let it be more.
Oh!
That's not
my
funny.
What's the matter with you?
All right, calm down. Nobody's hurt, are they?
No, nobody's hurt.
There's your angle. Down and in. Look at it. That's how I'd stab a taller man, and that's how it was done. Take a look at it and tell me I'm wrong.
Down and in, I guess there's no argument.
Have you ever stabbed a man?
Of course not.
Did you ever stab a man?
Oh, don't be silly.
Well, did you?
No, I didn't.
Then where do you get all your information about how it's
What
done?
do you mean? It's common sense.
Have you ever seen a man stabbed?
No.
This kid was an experienced knife fighter. He had even been sent to reform school, right?
That's right.
All right, look at this. Doesn't this seem like an awkward way to handle a knife?
What are you asking me for?
Wait a minute. What's the matter with me? Give me that knife.
Have you ever seen a knife fight?
Yes, I have.
Where, in the movies?
In my backyard. And on my stoop.
Oh.
And in the street. Across the way. Too many of them. Switchblades came with the neighborhood where I grew up. Funny, I didn't remember it. Guess you try and forget those things. Anyone who's ever used a switchblade would never have stabbed downward. You don't handle a switchblade like that. You use it underhanded.
Then he couldn't have made the kind of wound that killed his father.
Well, it's conceivable he could have made the wound, but it's not likely. Not if he'd had any experience with switchblades. And we know that the kid had a lot of experience with switchblades.
I don't believe it.
Neither do I. You know, you're just giving us a lot of mumbo-jumbo here.
Oh,
What do you think?
I don't know.
How about you?
Oh, I'll tell you something. I'm getting a little sick and tired of this whole thing. I think we should just break it up and go home.
Well, before we decide anything more, I'd like to try and pull all of this together.
Oh,
This should be good.
you want me to time this too?
She has her right. Let her go ahead.
Let's hear her.
Well, you know, I'm in advertising.
Yes, we know.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm used to the big shots pulling things together. So why don't we just chip up a few shots and see if any of them land on the green?
I want all of you to be logical and consistent.
We have. Guilty.
I want to know, is this kid smart or is this kid dumb?
What do you mean?
Well, this kid is an experienced knife fighter. On the day of the murder, he went out and bought a switchblade. He'd have to be a pretty dumb kid to murder a man, his father, with a knife that everyone would associate with him.
I quite agree. He's dumb.
However, if he were dumb, then why did he make the kind of wound that an inexperienced man would make with a knife?
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
To murder a man must take great hatred, great emotion, and at that moment you would handle the knife as best you could. An experienced knife fighter would handle it as he had been trained, underhand. An inexperienced man would go overhand. But this kid is being very smart. He's smart enough to make the kind of wound that an amateur would make. And he's even smart enough to wipe away all the fingerprints and perhaps to wait until the L comes to cover it up. Now I ask you again, is this kid smart or is this kid dumb?
Hey, now wait a minute.
Well, the woman across from the L track saw the murder through the L train. So someone on the L train could have seen the murder too.
Well, that's a possibility, but no one that we know of.
Well, it's still awfully dumb for a man to take that chance. To do the murder as a train's going by.
Exactly. A dumb man, a very stupid man, a man swept away by emotion. He probably didn't hear anything. He probably didn't hear the L. And he committed the murder as best he could.
So,
This is a dumb kid. He's so dumb, he does everything to associate himself with a switchblade murder. Yet at the same time, he's smart enough to make the kind of wound that would lead us to suspect someone else. But he's dumb enough to do it while an L train is going by and someone he can see him out the window. Now, to find this kid guilty, you have to say he's dumb from around 8 o'clock to midnight. And then he becomes smart for a few seconds. And then he becomes dumb. And so on and so on. He gets so dumb that he can't even come up with a good alibi. Now, to find this kid guilty, you have to toss his intelligence like a pancake. I say there is doubt, doubt, doubt.
I hadn't thought of that.
And what about the old man downstairs? On the stand, he swore. He insisted it was only 15 seconds. But we all know it was more like 40.
Does the old man lie half the time and then tell the truth the other half of the time?
To find this kid guilty, you have to say he's smart and dumb, and so on and so on. And to find this kid guilty, the old man has to lie part of the time and tell the truth the rest of the time. Now I ask you, is there not a reasonable doubt?
Wow. I think I'm sold. Reasonable doubt.
I think I'm sold also. Reasonable doubt.
Yep. I wanted more talk, and now I've had it.
I want to call for a vote.
Okay. There's another vote called for. Probably the quickest way to do this would just be by a show of hands. Okay?
Yep.
All those voting not guilty, please raise your hand. All right. All those voting guilty? 3. The vote is 9-3 in favor of acquittal.
I can't believe you people. How can you possibly believe this kid is innocent knowing what he is? You all know how they lie. They don't even know the truth half the time. And they don't even need a good reason to kill. You know, somebody gets drunk and bing, somebody's in the gutter. I'm not blaming them. They can't help it. It's how they are. Violent. Know what I mean? Human life don't... What the... Human life don't mean the same to them as it does to us. These kids are fighting and drinking, and if somebody gets killed, well, somebody gets killed. They don't care. It's like they have no human feelings at all. And I'm going to tell you about this kid on trial. He's one of them, too. You got to run this thing. Where are you going? I'm saying my piece. I have a right to say my piece. And I'm warning you about this kid.
I've had enough. If you say one more word, I'm going to split your skull. That's it.
I'm just trying to tell you. I'm trying to explain it to you. What about you? I'm trying to tell you all.
All right, everybody. Come on back. Let's sit down. Look, I still believe the boy is guilty, and I'll tell you why. To me, the most damning evidence was provided by the woman who lived across the street, who claimed she actually saw the murder committed.
That's right. As far as I'm concerned, that's the most important testimony.
All right, let's go over her testimony. What exactly did she say?
All right, I think I can recount it accurately. The woman said she went to bed about 11 o'clock. Her bed was right next to an open window. While laying in bed, she could look out of that window and see directly into the window